dig into the December portion of the November-December Traveler's Notebook Kit. So this one, you guys, I love. I'm such a Christmas fan, and it's never too early to start on Christmas, whether you're decorating or shopping or dressing for Christmas or getting your TN or planner ready for Christmas. So we are going to dig in and get started. For this month's setup, I am using the Simple Stories Merry and Bright collection. And if you haven't seen this, you're in for a treat. It is such a fun, kind of a classic Christmas collection. And when I say classic, I mean colors and icons, but then it's got a few pops of different things in it that you might not expect. So I will show you. This is what I did with it this month. Now, I'm really not quite sure what I'm going to use yet when it really gets to December. I am using right now, I've put my sample together in the typewriter floral because I love the way that buffalo plaid looks with the collection. Now, the outside is not so Christmassy, but we've talked about this before. Your outside does not have to match your inside, and that's just definitely not something that you have to do. Kind of like it's okay to wear white pants or white shoes after Labor Day, right? Okay, so as we work together, I'm actually going to put it in the Aztec, the black and white Aztec. So it's cream inside, so it'll give us a really good base. But I also have this little guy, and you guys, I don't think I've ever shown you my Traveler's Notebook collection. I have, I want to say at least 20. So some are not Carpe Diem. Yes, I do use things other besides. Oh my gosh, it's a Monday now that I'm filming this. I do use other things besides Simple Stories and Carpe Diem for my own projects. So I may end up using this kind of red patent leather one, and this is a Webster's one. So we shall see when I get there. All right, so let's dig in. We have the products that we're using for December. This 12 by 12 sticker sheet, which has tons and tons and tons of stickers on it. The 3 by 4 elements. This beautiful kind of wood grain floral paper. And then, of course, that buffalo plaid. So we are going to start out by filling the pockets. That's always my first step when I start. And we're going to take the... I need my readers. I forgot to grab them out. I always go through this, I think. I need my readers. I can't see that. All right, I can't see that line. So there we go. And now I am cutting away. So as we're doing this, as you see, I start to get a really good feel for the colors in the collection. Nice bright reds, a nice really kind of a dark green. And then there's also watch that, Layle. There's also a kind of a little bit more of a mossy green. There's cream, there's white, there's a really fun kind of whitewashed wood grain. And then there's also a pop of light blue, which is kind of a fun, unexpected. Actually, there's a number of different greens in there because there's another on that kind of snowflake card. It's kind of a light blue, light greenish. Anyhow, lots of great colors to play with. And then, of course, black. And I love black in Christmas just because it is so sharp and it looks so nice. And that buffalo plaid is definitely a favorite. It's funny how designs and patterns like that they kind of are popular year after year. That was really big in crafting last year, also in home decor, and it's made its way back again. So while we have our trimmer out, we're going to go ahead and trim the product strip off of both of our 12 by 12 papers. And then we are going to trim for our slip covers because we want to use both of the 12 by 12 sheets as slip covers. So I am trimming one of these ends to 8 1/4, actually. And really you could do this either way. It depends on what pattern or what design you want to have in the lower right corner of your insert. So if I look at this, you know what, actually what I think I would do, now that I have it all over to do again, I'm actually going to turn it this way. I think I want to use that as my corner because this pretty little flower right here, a lot of it ends up getting Fold it over. That's an 8. Fold over 2. Nope. You know what? I'm going back to where I was. I'm going to stick with this one. And the reason I'm going to stick with this one, you just got a little glimpse of my thought process there. When you are, even though this looks like right here, it would be really pretty in the corner, most of this is going to get folded over with the slip cover. So you wouldn't even really see that. So I'm going to go back to what I did originally and use this corner here, or this kind of bottom part of the sheet, so that I get all of this fun stuff. All right, so with that said, let's go back in here, and I want to make this 8.25 because 8.25 is the height of our insert. So there we go. Now I have that design in the corner, and we're going to actually save. We actually won't end up using that, so you can set that aside. And now we're going to go to this guy. Now, hopefully you have not done any pre-cutting yet, because we are not pre-cutting these. We're using this as our full sheet, so you're cutting along with me. We need to keep that buffalo as it is. All right, and then this we want to also be 8.25. Put it right here. And then this piece that's left over, I'm going to cut to 8. And then we will now set all of those pieces aside. So we should not need our trimmer again. Let's move that off to the side. All right, we bring back in our insert. Okay, so as always, we start out by decorating the pockets. And the base for that usually is most of the 3x4 cards. However, this time I switched things up a little bit. So this top pocket right here actually is all stickers. So I have, and I've talked about this a little bit before, if you're new to my kits, then this will be something new to you. But as we talk about the Traveler's Notebooks themselves, the Simple Stories or Carpe Diem Traveler's Notebooks are made out of faux leather, simulated leather. Some people like to call it vegan, and whatever it is. The benefit with that is they're really easy to clean. You also can stick stickers to them, and you don't have to worry about harming the leather since it's not leather. So I'm going to stick stickers here directly to the pockets. Now, if you have a nice leather TN that has pockets and you don't want to do that, or you don't want to do this with your TN, super easy. Grab a piece maybe of white cardstock, or even trim off a little piece of this that's left over, pop it in the pocket, and then just add your stickers to that. All right, anyhow, I am going to go ahead and put that into the pocket. So that one's going to go like that. And then there's these little holly stickers. A little holly, I'm going to use in a number of places, but I'm going to put that one right there. And then the floral in this Merry and Bright collection. Oh my gosh, I love it. It is so, so pretty. So I'm going to put this little guy right here, and he's going to kind of tuck in the pocket a little bit. And then I need one more, and a little teeny tiny floral stickers. And that one I just pulled from here. So holly, little sticker, big sticker, and then that's the kind of label Merry Christmas sticker. And this, I'm going to kind of fill up a little bit of that hole. All right, then what I'm going to do, in your kits, you had the little baggie full of embellishments. And most of what was in that baggie is for December. We're like going to town here. We're really having a lot of fun for December and adding lots of extra things. So I want to grab that little poinsettia flower that is in your baggie and grab a little glue dot. If you don't have a little glue dot, you can use some kind of liquid adhesive. We'll talk liquid adhesive again in a second. Excuse me. And I'm just going to glue that right to the center there of that flower sticker. So I just get a nice little extra kind of added dimension. Okay, my next pocket, I am using one of the 3x4 cards, and it is this little guy. Now, quite a bit of this is going to end up getting covered up, but I don't exactly know until I get it in there how much. So I'm going to go ahead and just do my little outlining here really quickly. Got my little outlining done. There we go. Oops, someone's talking to me. Something's coming through on my watch. All right, then that's going to just tuck right in there. From there, let's start decorating. So I am taking the sled sticker, and that's going to go, it actually kind of tucks right back in behind that card a little bit. So it's on top of the pocket page, it's on top of the Traveler's Notebook inside the pocket. All right, then let's take a couple of these cute little presents right here. So right along the left-hand side. And we're going to fill up a little bit of this space. So there we go, a couple presents. And then I'm going to do 2 word strip stickers there. So the word strip stickers are at the bottom of our sheet. One is the most wonderful time. And right a couple over from that is so very merry. So let's take the most wonderful time and so very merry. And oh, I just realized I didn't put my wedding rings on this morning. I do not sleep with my wedding rings. I never have. And I don't shower with them on either. And I did sleep. I did sleep and I did shower. So they're double not on today. Anyhow, just something that I, in the early days, I had read something right after I got married or before that said, you know, don't wear your wedding rings in the shower because you get stuff all over them, your shampoo and conditioner. And then I read something else that said, don't sleep with them because the sheets can kind of wear on the prongs. So, bet you didn't know today you were going to get a little jewelry lesson in addition to your traveler's notebook lesson, huh? All right. Next pocket, we're starting with this one, the Mistletoe Tree Farm card. And we're only going to basically be seeing a little bit of that green plaid, but, yeah, that's something you have to be careful of when you're using Sharpie on your surface. Here's a little hint. My work surface here, I actually have a tall black table that I've had for years, and it has glass on top of it. And that doesn't work well at all for filming or photography. So I bring in a really large piece of white foam core. So it starts to get beat up after a while. And when it gets beat up, I get rid of it and grab a new one. So I'm not too worried about getting Sharpie on there like that. All right, next one. This card, as you can see, is too big for the pocket. So all I do, I can either cut it or I just fold it. Folding's easy. And then it's going to go kind of right there in the pocket like that. All right, now we're going to add a few more stickers. We're adding this little label sticker right here that says Be Jolly. So that's going to go right on top of that. And then below that, there is a little word strip sticker right there in the lower corner, right-hand corner, that says Being Holly and Jolly. And Being Holly and Jolly is going to go right there. Okay, now, oh, hi Sam. Bye Sam. Sam's off to school. Okay, Sam, if you don't know or haven't met Sam yet, Sam is our 17, almost 18-year-old. He is a senior in high school. All right. Oh, and Sam, for the most part, does all of my kitting. Kitting, K-I-T-T-I-N-G. He has a sense of humor, too, so sometimes he might do my kitting as well, but in this case, kitting. He puts all of my kits together for me. That's his little job, and yes, I pay him. All right, so what I'm doing now, I am fussy cutting. So I'm taking this 3x4 card of the Santa, and look how cute he looks when he is cut up, right, in that pocket. So I'm fussy cutting him. Now, the scissors that I'm using, and I've talked about these before, I actually just picked up a new pair. The scissors I'm using, these are spring-loaded scissors. They're kind of like tweezers, but see how they're spring-loaded like that? And they have really teeny blades and really sharp blades. Makes it very easy for fussy cutting. These are by Elizabeth Craft Designs, and I think if you Google them, you should be able to find them. But I highly, highly, highly recommend those. Again, I'm not affiliated with any of the companies that I talk about when I start talking about tools. So that's just me sharing some of my favorite things, some of my favorite tools with you guys. And I'm just cutting away here. Why did I get a second pair? That's a good question. I was teaching at a store recently in Colorado where I first discovered these, where they showed me and I thought they were the greatest things on earth. And I was just teaching there again a couple weekends ago, and they now had pink pair, and I thought, oh, I like that pink. Well, I might as well get a second pair because, you know, if one's good, maybe two's better. Obviously not at the same time, but if one's good, two is better. So if I ever see you and we're crafting together and I have both of my scissors and you don't have them, then ask me and you can borrow them and you'll know how awesome they are too. All right, so as you can see, I'm just fussy cutting. If you're not familiar with that term, fussy cutting, it's basically cutting fussily. No, this is not a bad fussy cutting because it's pretty simple and it's not a lot. But I've seen some people do some amazing things fussy cutting where they might be maybe doing something like this where they're cutting out that entire thing. So it's nice one big piece that looks like it's been cut from a machine. All right, I did cut out this little bit as well. So this is also either where, if you have an X-Acto knife or little scissors like this is also where they come in handy. Now, we don't want to poke too hard because I don't want to bleed all over my nice cream colored traveler's notebook here. So whatever you're doing, just be careful as you're fussy cutting. Sometimes when I fussy cut, I leave a little bit of the border around the outside, a little bit of the color. In this case, I did not want to do that with the card because the card was light blue. And so not only would there be a light blue border around him, but there would be also a light blue border in this little area. And I just wanted it to look completely kind of cut out. So there we go. All right, he's still got a little bit of blue next to him. So I would probably clean that up a little bit, but I won't do that while I have you guys on the video. All right, so actually I have to do this. Oh yeah, good, I put it away. They come with a little kind of protective plastic tip, so I want to put that back on just so that doesn't pop open again. All right, so that little guy is going to tuck right in that card, or in that pocket right there. So actually, now that I look at my sample, what I did do, I did cut between this part. So I just made you do all that. If you already did all that, I mean, you still needed to do it, but it would have been a lot easier if I had just done that first, then I could get right in there. But I did want that separated. So there we go, separated. Okay, now that goes in, and I wanted it separated because then that cute little thing can kind of hang out. It doesn't get stuck into the pocket. Okay, we're using another one of our little stickers. I've pulled another one of those little hollies, and that's gonna go right there at the top of his little cap. Okay, we're going to come back in a second and do one more thing to him once we're kind of all done before we start to move on to the inserts. The next thing is the card that is in the next pocket is this one that says Northern Pines. Now, I don't want it for that side, although it'd be cute. Hey, you know what could be super cute? Here's an option, you guys. Well, no. Here's an option, I will tell you. I have put this cute little reindeer in the bottom pocket. If you didn't want to do a reindeer, you could cut out that little truck and fussy cut him, and the fussy cut truck could kind of go right in there. So that could be super cute too. But I think I like the reindeer. So if you wanted to use the truck, then the card that you would use, actually I will tell you the cards not to use instead to back that. Do not use either of those. Put those off to the side. And then any of the other cards you could use. So let's say this Hello December card, you could use to tuck in that pocket. So let's do this. In fact, you know what, you guys? I'm going to totally change this up because I want to do something with this truck. So I am going to take this card, this Hello December card. We're playing on the fly. And I need to make it a little bit smaller because it's too big to fit in that pocket. So I just trimmed maybe ½ an inch off, and I will tuck it in like that. Actually, I need to trim just a little tiny bit more off the bottom too. And there we go. So now it's just kind of sitting in there. So I'm going to end up doing 2 fussy cuttings here, and we're going to kind of try this on the fly and see how it works. The first one is the reindeer, and the reindeer I did use. So we're going to use that, but then also use that truck card as well. Now, I'm not really worried about fussy cutting all of this below because this bottom part of the reindeer is actually going to tuck in the card. So I'm going to turn them over. And this is the case. Remember on this one I said sometimes I leave a border? Oh, I for sure leave a border around this guy because that would just be crazy. I mean, there's fussy cutting and then there's stupid. That's kind of a silly thing to say, but I'm not going to get totally crazy on this one because this light kind of brown works really well. So let's keep that light brown there and save ourselves some heartache because when we get up in here, that would be it could be tough. All right, so I'm just going to come around down here and do my fussy cutting. But again, I'm leaving some of that little brown border around outside. And away we go. I probably should have maybe some kind of Christmas music playing, although you guys would have a hard time hearing me. So maybe if you are working right now and it is getting close to December, turn on some Christmas music. If you listen to Pandora or Spotify, there are lots of kind of pre-created stations for you that have Christmas music. And there's even different genres. So if you like old-fashioned Christmas music, like Bing Crosby and Dean Martin, you can find that. Frank Sinatra. If you like country Christmas music, you can find that. I'm sure there's hip-hop. I'm sure there's every kind of Christmas music you can imagine out there. So find what you like and turn it on. And I'm just kind of getting in there a little bit. Not too much. I'm not getting too fussy. But I do want there to be a little bit of dimension. So that's not one, kind of big piece. All right. I can't remember if I've talked to you guys about this before. You are probably hearing a big truck right now. We moved in June. And we built a house. And we are in a subdivision that is brand new. And there is still quite a bit of building and construction going on. So every once in a while I'll be filming and you'll hear like a big dump truck or something. That was just a truck going by. So hopefully it won't disturb us too much. All right, now that I get that little guy in, I'm going to lift that up a little bit so that you can still see him. Okay, now, so what I had done here before, next to it, I had used those 3 Christmas tree stickers. But what I'm going to try is I'm going to try to fussy cut out this car or this truck. Now, this is exactly what happens, you guys, when I am first creating my sample. I play with some different things, and sometimes I might start out with those trees, and then I think, oh my gosh, no, I want to play with this car. And then I would play with the car or the truck. So that's what I'm doing right here. And we'll see if we like it. And if we don't like it, then that's okay. We'll just go back to what I originally designed. But there's always choices, right? We always have choices. Obviously, you guys know you have choices. I'm just here showing you what I did. And you can, obviously you have all the product. You can decide if you want to do it exactly like I did, or you want to completely switch it up and do something entirely different. It is A-okay. It's your traveler's notebook now. It's not mine. So I will never know what you do unless you happen to show it to me, which some people do, which I love. All right, there's my truck. Let's see, is that going to work? Well, that's okay, right? That works. So there we go. If you want to do it that way, you could. Or I've got to kind of move a few of those things around in there a bit to get them to fit. So I'm going to try that. Now, things were kind of moving around, but this is where I want things to stay. So I'm going to take my tape runner and just do a little tiny dab of tape behind these little guys because I don't want them to move. I use my traveler's notebook every single day. Yes, every day. This one is the one I use for work. And so I've got my daily inserts that I'm using, my kind of daily to-dos. Then I have my weekly or my monthly calendar insert. So it gets used a lot. And I don't want all those things to fall out. We spend a lot of time making our TNs cute, right? So we want them to stay cute and stay together. That's why I use a little bit of temporary adhesive like that. Okay, the bottom part, we're going to add a few more stickers. We are going to add this cute little jingle. We are going to add this little floral right here. And we're going to add the word strip sticker at the bottom that says spreading joy, kind of right there in the center. All right. That just reminded me of something. Last month, I talked about Bob Ross, the painter, and how Bob Ross is so calm. And he says, let's just do this, and let's put a little dab of that there. And whenever I do these videos, it reminds me of Bob Ross because I'm just kind of chit-chatting and not talking too loudly. I'm a pretty loud person. So I try to not talk so loud in the videos, just knowing that if you want, you can turn up the volume if I'm not loud enough for you. All right, anyhow, there we go. So jingle, the flower, and then the spreading joy. Okay, now this is the fun part. Actually, there's 2 things we're going to do here. First of all, we're going to make a clip. So in your little embellishment baggies, you have a piece of stretchy buffalo plaid or black watch plaid ribbon. Isn't that so fun? I love that. All right. So we're going to make a paper clip, and the paper clip you can either tuck inside your pocket or you can use as a page marker in one of your inserts. So the way to do this is you fold it in half. So I have that folded in half, and I take my paper clip. Now there's kind of the big end and there's the small end, right? So I'm going to hold the small end in my left hand with the big end up here, and I'm going to thread this piece with that loop. I'm kind of like threading the eye of a needle, right? I'm going to thread that through up at the top. Now, I'm still holding on, right? I'm holding onto the ribbon, my paper clip's here. I'm going to bring this through here, and I am going to, you know what's going to happen? Wait, let's see. I'm going to bring this through and pull. Nope. So we're going to do it again. It's really funny. I can do these in my sleep, yet when I try to show it on a video, it doesn't, something always goes wrong. So these need to, oh, I know. I'm holding onto these with my right hand, and I'm going to open that up with my left hand. I'm pulling these through. Okay, I can do that, and then I can slide that up to here. All right, there we go. So that is the way that I tie those. And I tie those that way just because it gives you kind of a nice finished knot right there. See how that's kind of a nice, cute finished knot. Now, this may be a good length for you, or it may be a little bit too long. If it's a little bit too long, go ahead and trim. And I always trim those little guys at an angle. And trim. And then there. Now it's all nice and cute. So my paper clip can go, I think I put them right. Let's put, oh, I need to put them right here because otherwise you wouldn't be able to read Merry Christmas. All right, so it goes right in there. Now I've got my little paper clip that either can be cute or it can also be functional. All right, last thing, and this one is my favorite. Santa's beard, right? Santa's beard isn't flat in real life, right? Santa's beard is puffy. So I am going to take a little bit of the cotton ball that is in your kit. You're probably wondering what the heck that was, right? All right, so what I'm gonna do, I broke off a little piece, and I'm going to take some of my liquid adhesive. I am using Nuvo. This is their clear craft glue. Clear. It is not clear when it comes out, but it dries clear. Anyhow, I love this Nuvo craft glue. It's awesome. I just picked it up at my local scrapbook store. So if you have a local scrapbook store, you can pick it up there maybe or online. So I'm just going to add a little bit of glue to Santa's beard there, just enough. And then I'm going to glue down the beard. All right? Now, it's kind of messy because Santa's beard is kind of messy in real life, right? If I have too much on there, I can pull a little bit off. Now, if I want to pull some off, I want to do that sparingly because, well, actually, you have a whole cotton ball. So if you needed to, you could come back and if you messed up, you could pull it off and then add some more again. Anyhow, there's his little beard. But we have also a little pom-pom on his hat. So I'm going to do the same thing there. Add a little bit of my glue. Just a little, and put that little, I just rolled kind of this up in a little ball, and it's going to go right there. So now he has his cute little beard that's all puffy now, and his little pom-pom in his hat. All right, let's put the lid back on that. Okay, as we move to the inside of our TN, this piece that I had you guys cut. We can do one of two things here. You have this piece and you have this piece. Now, on my sample, I used this piece. But on this one that we're working on together, I'm going to use this piece. And this is what I did with it. It is just a little kind of decorative piece that slides right into the pocket. So you really don't see much of it, but I ended up on this one. I wanted to use that cream color because the inside of my traveler's notebook was already that buffalo plaid. But on this case, I think I'm going to use this guy because it'll look nice and cute in that cream. So in your kits, you have a piece of this little pom-pom trim, okay? Pom-pom trim. And we're going to pull out our liquid glue again and turn over our piece. There's kind of two sides to the little pom-pom trim. One side looks a lot more raw or kind of unfinished than the other side. So I'm going to take out my liquid adhesive and I'm going to run that just down that unfinished side. And I don't need a lot. As far as liquid adhesive goes, if you don't have a favorite, if you don't have Nouveau, Eileen's Tacky Glue, Scotch makes a brand of liquid glue. Just really, you need something that is liquid. Glue stick isn't going to cut it. Now, I suppose you could try to figure out how to staple it if you wanted, but we want to use some kind of liquid glue just so it's a nice, cute trim. Now, here's another thing. I've already bought the product for January and February. So, good news, I will be continuing these kits again in the new year. They've been so popular, and I've had so many of you guys ask if I'll be continuing them. So, yes, I will. I've already bought the product for January and February. February, obviously, Valentine's. It's going to have kind of a love theme associated with it. And hang on. Hold on, let me make sure I just did that right. I did. Okay, we're good. Anyhow, you could save this piece, right? When we're done with it, you could save it when it's done for December, and you could use it in February as well, because that black buffalo plaid will still be in style then anyhow. So I would normally let that dry. I'd let it dry really well, but I'm going to just right now trim that little excess off. And then I would slide that right here into my pocket. But again, I'm going to recommend that you let that dry, okay? Because as I put it in, it's kind of moving around a little bit. But let yours dry, and then it'll be nice and cute in your little pocket. Seriously, isn't that darling? And actually, you know what? I actually like the way... Alrighty. So, I took about a half an hour break there. You may have noticed I abruptly stopped. I mentioned at the beginning of the video that we live in a construction zone, and not one, not two, but 3 different cement trucks came by, and the concrete washout is very near our house, so it is very noisy, and their trucks, for whatever reason, have to run the entire time they're doing it, and then you hear that awful like backup noise the entire time as well, and I didn't want to subject you guys to that. So what I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted by the cement trucks, don't they know I've got work to do here? I'm trying to have fun with you guys doing Traveler's Notebook setups. Anyhow, so what I was saying is I actually think I like the way that this looks better than in this one that I did. I mean, it's just, I love them both. They're both different. What I may end up doing, I know this sounds nuts, I may end up using one for the first half of the month and one for the second half of the month. Oh gosh. Okay, I don't know if you guys could hear that or not. I could hear a truck driving by. Now I'm paranoid. Okay. Oh, please stay away. You know what? It should be around lunchtime here. Don't these people eat lunch? Okay, we're gonna keep trying to press on. Anyhow, so now that we've done the pockets, it is time to start the inserts. So I'm taking one of my inserts. I have removed the slip cover. Go away, dump truck. Okay, I've removed the slip cover. Oh, sorry, you guys. Okay, I removed the slip cover, and I have taken this sheet that we cut before. It's 8.25 inches tall, and I'm lining this up in the center. And I had actually done this part before, and then that's when I could hear the beeping, and so I cut us off. Anyhow, I am just folding that over. Now, washi. There are 3 different rolls of washi, 3 different designs that are part of the Merry and Bright collection. So you will have one of these 3, and they're all super fun. So whichever one you have, you're gonna love because they're all fun. I'm going to take, let's just take this red one, and I am going to take a little bit off. Now, because it's Christmas, I mentioned this kit is a little bit supersized. There are a lot more little embellishments and trim and trinkets and things like that that I normally include. And you have a full roll of that Christmas washi, so you can play with that all month long in your TN or whatever you want to play with it. whatever project you want to play with it in. All right, now I'm going to fold this over, open it back up, and fold it again. Grab my little washi. Excuse the inside of this. As you can see, I've been doing things with this TN for a little while now. So that's the nice thing about slip covers, because you can use an insert and then move it from month to month to month, and it's still cute on the front. All right, so now we are going to decorate the front. And I always start out, you guys know this, with I outline the insert. And now some of you are saying, but Layle, that's already kind of black and cream and you don't even really see it. I know, but in my head I see it, and then it looks weird if I don't do it. So it's done. I actually also think it's time for a new Sharpie. This one looks like it's getting a little bit worn down and not so bright. All right, so I mentioned that we needed to keep 2 of those 3x4 cards. And so this was one of them. This May Your Days Be Merry and Bright. Outline away. I always do that. I turn the card instead of trying to turn my pen all the way around. It makes it a lot easier. Get out my tape runner and add a little bit of tape. I'm going to put this about right there. And then we're back to a few stickers. So I'm going to use this little guy. It's got that little sprig of Christmas goodness, and it's going to go right there. And then up here in the corner, I'm going to use 2 of these little tiny little flowers, that guy, and this one. And then I also want another one of my holly leaves, and there are still a few left. All right, so we're going to put that there, and that guy maybe right there, and then my holly is just going right there. All right, one last thing. I am going to take one of these word strip stickers at the bottom that says loving, and we'll put that right down there along the bottom. Now you have lots of stickers to work with, so if you see a different sticker that you'd like to use, then for sure you should use it. I'm going to bring this back in, and my first insert just slides right on in. All right, now, cute. Oh, you know what I forgot? I just remembered. When I was tacking these things down, I did not tack the reindeer down. There we go. So now he's not flopping around so much. Okay, our next insert. Let's take this guy. Monthly inserts. If you are looking for a calendar, this is a really good one to start with, especially since January will be right around the corner. If you want to start fresh, monthly inserts, and you can get those if you order the January and February Traveler's Notebook Kit, which, yay, there will be one. Okay, so now I'm going to oh my gosh, you guys, okay, your sound didn't go out. Oh, I got so turned around. I consider myself, I call it spatially challenged. So I was looking at that and I'm like, oh my gosh, did I cut that wrong? No, I didn't. Wait a minute, that doesn't look right. Anyhow, so I was thinking all those things, but I wasn't saying them in my head. I was panicked for a second, but it's all good. Don't mind me, I'm just over here being blunt. Okay, so now we repeat the same thing that we did with our other insert. A little bit of that washi. Like so. And, oh, incidentally, if you have been working with me for a while with the Traveler's Notebook Kits, Simple Stories recently changed the supplier that we are using for washi. So I haven't worked with it a lot, but hello Mr. Truck, golly, I really like this new washi. It just seems to stick really well, so I am enjoying that so far. Okay, so there is our lovely insert with that really pretty design at the bottom. I'm going to, again, take my black pen. You can see a lot better here, can't you? And outline. And outline away. See, I know I keep mentioning the trucks, but really, you guys want to feel like you're here with me and we're working together, right? And if you were here with me and we're working together, we'd be complaining about the trucks making all that noise. So we're just pretending like we're all here together. All right, now, I did a little bit more outlining on this one, and I'm going to show you these two side by side so you can see. All right, can you see how I have outlined around those flowers and those leaves? I'm going to set this one right next to it. Let's see if we can see here, if I can hold that. But do you see what a difference it makes? I just think it makes things pop. And so if you would like to follow along with me, you can do that. I'm just going to do a few of these just because you guys don't need to necessarily watch me outline away. So I just outlined pretty much all of the red. And then when it does that, that's okay because you can see I kind of went outside of the line there. But that's okay because that is, let's see, where am I? Right there. That's just part of it. That's part of the look. That's part of my look. And then I outlined those little hollies. And I outlined these flowers. So I will stop there, but you get the gist of the outlining. Okay, next we have our 'Tis the Season card. And that guy I'm also going to outline. I had to take off my glasses there. They're readers, and so if I keep them on, I get like instant headache. I need to get the bifocal kind where you can look up and look down and look up and down, but I don't know if any of you guys have those, but from what I understand, that takes quite some getting adjusting to. All right, but I think it's time. Okay, that's gonna go there. Then this, back to our sticker sheet. So I'm grabbing this little kind of banner of Christmas lights, this little string of Christmas lights, and it's just gonna kind of go along the top there. So I will cut off any excess, and actually I'm gonna cut it off right there. And I'll put that back on my sticker sheet because I might want to use that later. There you have lots of stickers left over. All right, now on here, this pattern had that snowflake on it. So I thought, well, we might as well kind of continue on with that snowflake theme. So I'm going to pull all three, all three of the snowflake stickers off of the sheet. And we're going to do a big one in the corner. And then this little guy right here. And then we'll do this little one right over here, just so we kind of work that snow theme in. And then two more word strip stickers. So Happy Holidays, which is kind of center, and then Merry and Bright on that same row all the way over to the edge. We are done with our sticker sheet, so we can move that off of our work surface. Happy Holidays is gonna go right there. Merry and Bright right there. And that is our second insert. Now, normally we would be done, but it's Christmas, we can't be done. So I have two more things I want to show you. These are brand new techniques that we have. Well, one's a technique. One's is kind of like a little gifty to you. So another little technique. We are going to make a pen clip. And when I say pen clip, let me get this out of the way. I'm going to bring this one back in. So let's see if you can see this. All right. This pen is attached to my insert. And the way that it is done, it's actually attached to one of those bull clips like that. So, and then it's just clipped onto the insert itself. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that off. And let's take a look at it. So I'll do that. See how it has that stretchy ribbon. And it is adhered to both sides of that. When I pull it out, that is what it looks like. Okay? And then I just put my clip or my pen in, it slides in right like that. And then I'm going to grab my insert again. And usually what I do is I would attach it right to the back of my insert. Actually, let me close this again. Open it, close it, open it, whatever it is. And I am clipping it right here, okay, right to the side. And then I just close that. So I have a an additional little pen clip or pen loop for my traveler's notebook. Sometimes you don't want to take your full traveler's notebook with you, right? Sometimes you just want to take the insert, throw it in your purse. So that's a great way to have a pen with you, or to have more than one pen, or maybe you like to use a pen and pencil in your traveler's notebook. So a mechanical pencil or something like that in there that has a little, has a little clip like that, so it'll stay in. So let's talk about how to make that. It is super easy. There are actually 3 things that you need. 2 I've included in your kit. One is obviously that little clip. Another one is that little stretchy piece of elastic ribbon. The third thing that you need is something called E6000. Now, this is a little teeny tiny kind of a sampler of E6000. They make them in large tubes as well. E6000 is a super heavy duty adhesive. Works great on wood, on metal, on glass. I like to use a lot when I am making clips. I think those of you that have been with me all year, we did use E6000 a long time ago, a couple months ago, as we were making a clip so that, like a paper clip, so the little embellishment we added would stay. But what we want to do, in E6000 you can pick up at, I think Walmart has it, Hobby Lobby, Michael's, craft stores and things like that have it. You can also buy it online. But I just want to add a little tiny bit of E6000 to that side. I don't know if you can see that. But I did not add a lot. It basically still looks flat. And I want to do the same thing to the other side. Okay, there we go. Let's put the lid back on that. We always want to put the lid back on. That's assuming that you know what you did with the lid. Oh yeah, there we go. Lid goes back on. And then I'm going to take that little stretchy ribbon and I'm going to put one side right there and just barely tap it down. I want it to stick. Barely tap it down. And then I'm going to flip it over to the other side. And these little things are bugging me, so I'm going to just trim off those little extra stringies. All right. Then I'm going to do the same thing on that side. So I am wrapping it around and I have made a loop. Now, I've pre-measured those for you. Those will work with most pens. If you have a really, really large pen, then I'm afraid it's not going to work, but I will show you. That is a good size pen. And even this guy, this is even a little bit bigger. So you should be fine, even maybe to go up to a pen that size, but I wouldn't go much larger than that or it's not probably going to work. Now, this E6000 adhesive is awesome. It takes a little while to dry. So I'm going to recommend that you, when you do that, set that off to the side overnight. Do that overnight and it will be nice and secure. The reason I say overnight is because once that is dry, and I'll grab my dry one here, and you put your pen in, you can see the elastic is stretching. So it's going to put some strain on the elastic. And if you don't let that dry completely, all that's going to do is ping, and it's going to pop that elastic or that ribbon, that elastic ribbon right off. Then again, once it's done, all I have to do is open that back up, grab my insert, put it on the back of my insert, and then close it so those little things don't stick out. And voila, I have a second pen loop for my TN. Okay, so the very last thing I want to show you guys, in your little embellishment baggies, I have made everyone a little homemade charm. And it has a little snowflake. You either have a white snowflake, a green snowflake, or a red snowflake, a little tiny jingle bell, and then a lobster clasp. So you can put that in one of 3 places. Actually, you can put it in more places, but really you can put it in one of 3. So let me close this little one right here that we've been working with. I have attached this little guy right up here. Because it's a lobster clip, it can just literally attach right to the elastic on your traveler's notebook. And you should have elastic up there because if you have elastics in your traveler's notebooks, and you should because it's pretty much how they work, you just clip that right up there. Now, a second option would be to take that clip and clip it to the elastic that goes right here. And then it's just a cute little thing that is on the front of your TN. Or your last option is what I have done right here. and I have attached it to the elastic, but in this case, I've attached it to the inside. So you just saw my little hair there as I was trying to look underneath so you could see, so I could make sure that I knew what I was showing you guys, or I could see what I was showing you. Anyhow, just a fun little charm that I made for everybody to attach to your traveler's notebook for December. Now, here's another fun little hint. I mentioned I had already purchased all of the product for January, and January is a winter theme. So just so happens that cute little charm will work for you not only for December, but also January if you decide to pick up the January-February kit. All right, my friends, even though it is only the end of October, I want to say Merry Christmas to you. Thank you for purchasing this kit. And for those of you that have been with me all year, thanks so much. I have had so much fun with these kits. It's an entirely different kit than I've done in the past over the years, so I've really enjoyed it. Take care, have a happy and safe holidays and New Year, and we'll chat again soon. Bye-bye.
Hope when you take that jump, you don't feel the fall. Hope when the water